Thanks, Clinton. It's a busy week. Thanksgiving menus are being finalized, the holiday table is being set, and turkeys are being laid out to thaw. This holiday is especially important to many turkey producers. After all, their livelihood is the staple of many holiday dinners. And because some turkey producers were able to weather the storm better than other livestock producers, this Thursday is one an Iowa turkey producer will be giving a lot of thanks.
She's a wife, mother, turkey farmer, and avid blogger. So as Katie Olthoff makes her rounds through her newly renovated barn in Stanhope, Iowa, surviving 2012 comes as a huge relief.
Feed is one of our biggest input costs, and so when corn prices rise like they have this year, that definitely puts a strain on our farm.
Farming can be extremely difficult in years like 2012 when Mother Nature doesn't provide a key ingredient to farming: moisture. As the crops in Iowa grew parched and struggled to get enough rain, Olthoff knew 2012 would be a difficult one for many livestock producers to endure. It's been more than just the drought. As the temperature skyrocketed this summer, the heat also threatened her flock.
Overnight, one night, we lost 5% of one flock, which is a pretty huge loss for us overnight. So, and that it's because it didn't cool down overnight and the heat was just really hard on them.
Despite those challenges, Olthoff has been able to cushion some of those potential losses through good management practices.
We've tried really hard to minimize our inputs in other areas and tried to be very efficient and use the best management practices that we can to make sure that we have big, healthy birds going to market, and then that's going to help minimize any losses for us.
She says those management practices, combined with being proactive, has been the recipe helping keep the Olthoffs in the black this year.
Energy efficiency is always huge for us. We have tunnel ventilated barns, which instead of curtain sidewalls, they have big fans at the end that suck air through.
This picture isn't as hopeful for all livestock producers. Pork producers are preparing for steep losses.
As long as there's high commodity prices, is that if you're buying feed, it's going to be very difficult to have profitability.
This makes Olthoff even more grateful for a profitable year. Despite surviving 2012, she knows as a farmer there are still many hurdles ahead.
Disease is one of our biggest problems. We try to use biosecurity to minimize any disease entering the building, and then also just try to use the best management practices to make sure that our turkeys are healthy and that they're not stressed and then not as susceptible to disease.
The necessary antibiotics, however, are becoming harder to get and supplies have been limited. Olthoff says she believes in communication, educating generations removed from farming about how animals are raised and why tools like antibiotics are so essential to the health of the birds. Through her blog, transparency is her goal, realizing that may play a major role in helping save the future of her family's farm.
So I became really sensitive to that and concerned about that, and that's one of the reasons that I started blogging about our farm is to, I really wanted to share how we do things on our farm, how we make decisions on our farm so that people know that we're making educated decisions and that we have food safety in interest and that that's always one of the big things that we take into consideration.
You can read Katie's blog by visiting on thebanksofsquawcreek.com. One of her recent blog posts addresses animal abuse. Clinton.